Okay, happy Sunday, girls.
Good morning, ladies.
Good
It's so good to be
morning.
back.
It
I
is.
love it.
And
So,
Jessie, girl, we love your hair. I love your new color. Oh,
it looks
I
fabulous.
love
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
it.
You
And
look
your
like a
share,
totally
your
different,
look of
you look like a
share.
little girl. Wow, it's incredible. I love it. Love it,
Thank
love it.
you. Thank you.
And I
So I
kept,
tried to go just back to my natural color, and then I accidentally went a shade or two darker than my natural, but it's okay. I'm trying to do all natural with no makeup, not try to do anything too crazy.
oh,
I'm gonna try to detox for at least a month.
that's a good idea.
Wow, I love
Detox my
that.
skin. Yeah, detox everything. And that way when it grows out, I can just leave it alone for a little bit because it's so crazy. Ever since I was like maybe like 11 or 12, even though I was naturally like super blonde as a little kid, and
Yeah.
then it kind of darkened up as I got older. Um, my mom just started dyeing my hair like red when I was like a freshman in high school, just for fun. She wanted to show me some
Hmm.
fun stuff. And my grandmother wanted to dye it brown, and then I wanted to dye it this. So I've never actually just like gone natural. So I'm
Wow.
like, well, let's just try this out and see what happens. Let it all grow out. So now that it's closer to my natural, I'm just gonna let it go for a little bit.
I
I love the
love it.
detox. I love that. That's beautiful. Speaking of run interjections, Utah was fabulous.
Oh,
Yes, I saw
yes,
pictures.
yes.
Did so many hot springs. I did detoxed myself into to a tizzy. It was
You
one.
love hot springs. I love hot springs too. They're so good for your
I
skin.
am
They are.
super obsessed. I did sulfur ones, salt ones, and silica. And it was just really
What?
wonderful with all of my children and grandchildren, and it was surreal to be back in my element in the mountains, and I saw all my moose and badger and just every wild animal, elk and deer. It was fabulous.
Oh, I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh.
I
So
love
tell me,
Utah.
what is silica? Silica Springs. How is that? What is that?
Well, the water content is high in silica, and silica is actually
Allergies.
is the what meshes our skin together and makes it tight.
Mm.
So when we lack in silica in our skin tends to get cellulite. It separates the yeah. So silica helps that bond, but it also helps to heat the body in hot water from the bone marrow out
I
rather
want
than
to go. Oh my
That's
gosh.
amazing.
I
I
tried so
want to
hard to
go.
get you out there. I was like, look, and we could have shared. I had my whole basement to myself with like a five-person shower with the waterfall shower and
I
a
love
huge,
that.
ginormous. Like I had to literally, I'm 5'8", and I had to jump onto the bed. It was so high.
Oh,
Wow.
And then we
Wow.
had a salt water to a saline jacuzzi.
Where were you? Were you staying at a resort or where were you actually staying?
We did a self-made resort, so I normally stay with a friend of mine, and I use his basement because I also work. I do my healing work when I go. I'm really fortunate to have that kind of transfer of careers to where my clientele in Utah still appreciates and loves me. So I actually made more money out there than I do here in like a month, and I made it in like
Wow.
6 weeks.
are you serious?
Yeah, but different demographic and different economic demographic,
Yeah.
and but to keep that kind of love and have people just calling when I land on the ground was such a blessing. I spent a lot more
Mm-hmm.
money than flew. Was like
But you know
my
what? You made
baby
it all
feed
up.
me,
You
right?
made it all back.
But it gave me that opportunity to not stress over losing 2 weeks of pay while I was gone. So that made it a plus. So we had an Airbnb. We were able to rent a minivan. Um, those little things as a single mom that you just cherish because
Yeah.
we have a lot of kids and you're single, you're in survival mode all the time, and vacationing is really difficult. So between all of the adult children and I, it was just perfection. And then I just threw out my massage table that I keep there. I even bought an 8-foot yoga mat, so I
Wow.
did Thai massage.
Oh my gosh.
So when
Wow,
I
I
didn't
didn't know
want
that you were a masseuse too.
yeah,
You didn't
I,
know that?
I wear all
Yes.
these
She
hats.
does herbs. I know she does skin. I know she does. You
I
know, she's
do aesthetics
a little bit of
and
everything.
Mhm.
But that's really cool that you do massage
yeah.
too.
So
And you
I
do
was able
Reiki,
to
right?
yeah, I do the Reiki and it was just really nice to be able to connect that way and do so much healing. I did the Watsu on my kids in the hot springs.
Oh
Watsu
wait, the
is
Oh.
wax
where
is yeah. You.
Oh
I don't.
my gosh, I
It's kind of
love that.
like a
I was able
baptism
to
almost.
Watsu my children, and my
Yes.
grandson was just amazed at it because he's from Brooklyn. He was born there, and so all of this was like it was just like, is that really water? He was
How old is he?
fascinated. He's 4. He
Oh.
had he had his first bath, and we had a huge clawed sunken tub that was huge in the master bedroom suite. And that so my daughter-in-law and my son were like, we could never go back to a shower now. This big, like double person sunken tub. The baby thought it was a pool. He was like,
Aww.
is this nice swimming pool? We're like, not that.
He's
So
so
yeah, the
cute.
Mr. Bubble. I bought the gallon of Mr. Bubble and just
Oh, I remember
Love
Mr.
it.
Bubble from Grandma.
yeah,
Grandma was the first one that did the Mr. Bubble for us, I think,
Mr.
on
Bubble. Yeah,
Dunsmuir, and then
that
Mom
was a
after
big
that.
part of our
Mr.
excuse me,
Childhood. But
our childhood and upbringing.
before we get too far off track, Jessica,
Okay,
okay, we're going to, she's going to bless us with a card reading for each of us, Asiah and then me, and then we will touch on the topic of the week, which is, have you ever been fired for speaking up for yourself? Or for anything in general that wasn't your fault, obviously, because of lack of, your job performance. But basically, because there's so many people that are fired, especially women, when we speak up for something that's incorrect, something that was done wrong, or
right.
something that we just need to voice, and then we get fired. So that's the topic. But before we start on the topic, let's do our cards so we can have some positive, fun energy.
Claims.
So, okay, what I want you guys to do is think of kind of like a question. Think of something that's going on. What do you need an answer for? Really, really think on that hard. And who wants to go first?
Ozzy could go first if she
Ozzy, you
likes.
want to go first?
I'll go
Okay.
first.
All right. Give me just one moment. Let's ask Asia's spirit guides, angel team, higher self, everybody to come through to help with this. I'm going to ask my spirit guides, my angels, my higher self to also assist with this poll right here. Think hard about your question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 stacks. I'm going to take the first card on the top of that stack. And depending on if it's upright or downright, it's going to have a different meaning. Is this a yes or no question, or is this something a little bit more?
A little bit more.
Okay, a little bit
It
more.
could be a yes or no, but it might be a. Let's see what the cards say.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So spirit guides, angels, and higher self, you guys want to connect with Asia's spirit team and give us an answer for her. Thank you. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. All right. So you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Let me go into this in detail.
Okay.
What was your question?
I really am still stuck on continuing education at this point in my life financially, and whether or not it's a good time for me to proceed and get it over with, or should I hold back a little longer and just be patient?
Okay, so funny thing right off the bat, I'm just going to read you the first level and then we'll go into a little bit beyond that. Missed opportunities. That's what this card signifies. Being stagnant, feeling out of control.
That's me.
That's exactly what, that's the kind of the feeling that's coming from it. Let's see here.
Wow.
So when we are thoroughly obsessed by a certain idea and strongly wish to manifest it, we are oftentimes so blinded by the actual desire for its fulfillments that we fail to note the difficulties which we may come across, or the actions and consequences that it could bring. The Knight of Swords is a very powerful figure that is full of life and energy. This needs to be balanced with proper and actual realization of compassion and responsibility. Once the knight sets forth towards his goals, there's absolutely no stopping him. He doesn't see and he doesn't care about any upcoming challenges. Coming in right here with, give me 1 second right here. While upright, the Knight of Swords' ambition and drive left people in awe. In reverse, the knight may instead come off as ruthless or vicious. Beware of hurting others as you complete your career goals. You may instead get a reputation for being cutthroat or not caring who else gets hurt as long as you get what you want. Sometimes others may also find you arrogant or pushy when it comes to your ideas. Do you always need things to go your way? Do you ignore or dismiss ideas of others without giving reasons? Sure, your methods may yield the results you want, but in the long term, consider what happens when nobody is there to support you. Try and be careful with your language and how you communicate.
Oh my God. That's my whole anxiety that I've been holding in. I'm about to cry because that's exactly how I've been feeling about this issue. Like, my torn self is, am I being selfish at this particular moment? And how do I go about this without making everyone feel like I've abandoned them for my desires and what I want? I know that in the long run, it will benefit everybody, including myself. And it's just getting to where it's time, either now or never, because I'm not spring chicken dinner anymore. And I'd like to have this last degree under my belt. And but to do that, it's going to take a lot of time. And
So
I have to put that time.
Exactly. The advice that comes with it is be very careful. Research, plan for long-term success. That's really how you have to think about it, and also plan for everybody else that comes in your path, like anybody else who you're going to be working with. Just be mindful of them.
Okay. Can I have
What was your
Can
actual?
you pull one more card?
Wait, you have to do. Wait. We don't have time for that many, but yes, we could do that. But Ozzy, I was going to ask you. So for your question, how did that help your was your question? Should I do this right now? What was the actual? What was
It kind of told me what I'm thinking is basically what just happened. It told me exactly, like, it made me
feeling.
the Nine of Swords.
Solidify what was going on in your head, maybe.
My question now would be, where am I going without the degree? Do I have a degree without?
Do you want here? We can do another one on this. Let's do
full card.
Because was your question? Okay, let me just clarify. So your first question was, should you go get your degree right now? Continue getting your degree because you are fearful that it's taking away from Jerry, your clients, and everything else for your goal, right? That was the question.
My other patients, Jerry,
okay, and then the card was actually saying, just be careful about how you deal with the other people, but we always know ourselves come first. We can't.
I'm always careful. That's the problem. I'm so careful with everybody else's feelings. You know that.
But it sounds like it's.
I think it means. I personally I feel that it might mean that you have the potential. You have the keys to the kingdom of heaven to make your current position or your current job exactly how you want. And if you invest your time into what you want currently, you can have the business of your dreams. But if you give that up to go back to school, you're going to have to start all over again, and you're going to have to take all of that I guess oomph that you've been putting into your current career. You're going to have to start from the beginning and start all over again, and that may not necessarily be the right path for you. Maybe your spirit guides are saying that what you have, figure out, jump in with both feet. That could possibly be what it is.
Yeah. I love that.
Do another one as a yes or no if you'd like.
Yeah, go on.
Do yes or no.
Okay, so think hard about what question, exactly your question. Repeat it in your head a couple of times. Spirit guides, angels, and higher self. You guys want to give us an answer for Isaiah for yes or no? So we have the Hermit in reverse. Let me get this one.
That's interesting. I know what it's going to say.
So it says you've been isolating a little too much. Maybe you spent a lot of time alone and it's been affecting social life. Let's see here. Yes, reverse. It indicates a no. It says the Hermit in upright is a yes, but if it is in reverse, it indicates a no.
What was the question though? Now I don't
My
even.
question was, am I going to be able to sustain myself financially if I do stay in this path that I'm going in? No.
If you're going in this,
Oh,
maybe
the
there's
current
some
one.
tweaks.
Wait,
current path.
Maybe there's something that you got that maybe they're saying that there's something there that you need to change, and
Yeah.
maybe you haven't explored all your options yet.
because I'm thinking about, like, for your first question about the nursing thing, what if that's more of, because that's what your default is and that's what you're used to thinking, that you need to get your finish your school before you can do something, but that's just an old way of
It's been
thinking.
something I've been trying to finish forever, and know that it will give me like a little more security. Like if anything happened in my future, how would I financially be able to do,
Anything,
easily
survive.
make the things and then do the things I like? Because I like to work smart, not hard. I
Yeah.
love travel. I love my family, and I am very spur of the moment when I want to do something. And my career path does allow me to do that, but not where I am currently in Tulsa, because it's a different demographic. So, and it's a struggle. And then with the nursing degree, I'll be able to work when I want, and I can travel, nurse travel.
Yes. Maybe it's just saying keep your options open, that there's probably something else that maybe we're not seeing because you have your focus on two specific points.
That's
and there's
what I'm.
all of this other stuff in the middle right here. And I'm even just thinking off the top of my head that you would be excellent at something like becoming a QHHT practitioner. So QHHT practitioners, they make upwards, every single one of them that I know who's serious about it, all makes over 6 figures a year. And it's really great because you're helping people. It's hypnosis. It has to do with healthcare, but it's also a spiritual thing. QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis technique from Dolores Cannon. So like there's so many cool things that you could do that you can add on to what you have, or maybe explore off from there a little bit and veer off.
I like it.
Or like, just like some different stuff. Or what if you were to go really like head first into, because I know you love herbology and just doing like natural medicines.
I thought of that too, and that still would fall into the same financial category as nursing school would, really.
So for the herb stuff, I know that my mom, she went to back to school to become a physician. Funny thing enough, she was so tired of the way that they teach how to do medical school. Like they're very strict and they're not very open-minded, and it's all kind of a way that's being sponsored by the lobbyists, and they all want you to use regular traditional medicine, and she hates it. So she ended up kind of switching over to psych, and she ended up taking a course on herbalism, and that's all she does now. She does strictly herbal stuff. I mean, she does prescribe if people actually need it, and there's some like real basis for it. But
she has the hat to do that. I love that.
Doing traditional like stuff for like healthcare, it is not the way that people think it is, like about caring for others and loving for others. They work you to death, and it's all about like getting your prescriptions in and doing this, and it literally can wear somebody out. Like maybe
that could be a change. And I see that. I do it all the time for our family, especially with the herbal treatments. That I need to come and just work with your mom.
I feel like Asiah, she's very similar. We're very similar in our same financial spot and our same releasing of stuff, so that we aren't doing the same ruts that we've put ourselves in. Like for example, because for me, I always feel like, what can I do? And then it always goes back to the real estate, because I love real estate, but it hasn't flourished for me as a trick transaction coordinator or manager, but I always keep going back to that. Like, no, but this is what I could do. This is what I could do. But it's really not the only thing I could do. And so for
Wow.
you, Ozzy, I'm thinking about, and for us, because it's always money. It's always, we're always, well, me, I'll speak of myself, figuring out
So
how to
true.
have
It is.
stable,
And I'm
secure
in like a
income.
stagnant state, just like the card said, because I become so
But maybe,
complacent
well,
with
but what I was gonna say,
years.
maybe the RN is just because that's what you only keep seeing. You keep seeing that this is my only way out, and so that card seems to say that the first
There's
one,
another way.
there might not,
Oh
there's
my god.
so many things out there, there's billions. My dad Noel used to always say there's millions of opportunities, there's millions of men, there's millions of careers, so there's no way that I should ever be thinking I'm never going to find that man or the career, because it's just it's out there. It might not be
True.
known to me yet,
Yeah.
right, but it's out there.
And we are still, I'm still, like, now I'm married, which I'm still getting used to, and I'm very comfortable in it, but I've never been comfortable, so I'm uncomfortable in the comfort.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying on mine yesterday. Remember, we have to learn to be comfortable in the discomfort, because if we're
Well,
not,
it's
we're
the
going to start
opposite. I'm so
spiraling.
comfortable, I'm uncomfortable. Like, I've never had one gentleman ever really truly love me. It's always
Oh, I
love me.
can't wait for that.
So I,
I
he
can't wait
really
for that.
loves me, and I'm not, I'm like bewildered by it. Like, I'm still in that jump and run phase. Like, wait a minute, now I can change.
You can't really believe that it's true, and it's like it just takes a while to settle in. But you know what? You know what just popped in my mind right now? With herbalism, what if you were to do something along the lines of like modern day shamanism? Have you heard of this new path that a lot of people are doing, where they're getting away from traditional like over the counter medicine, and they're starting to move towards like psilocybin? They're starting to move towards natural plant medicines, and they do like retreats for people, like big yoga retreats. They do retreats to really reset people's mentality, everything about it, without just giving them a pill and saying that's it. What if that's your path?
Because
That's
that's
what
all
I
of, because
wanted to do with
that
Laura.
and that, I was going to say that brings us all together for the whole retreat thing that I want to do with all of us. You know what I mean? And that's
what
part
I
of the
will
whole bigger
do.
picture. So if Azia can find, and myself as well, like the perfect career where we're going to have stable money coming in, where we're not feeling like we're running after the money. I'm tired of running, feeling like I'm running, chasing money, and it's always a step ahead, and some gets dribbled down into my hands, which I love, but where's the whole thing, right? So I can only spend a second on that because I don't want that momentum to start now, but
Okay.
that's how it feels for me.
I agree, and I had the same idea. Like when Laura approached me with Lorena Ranch and stuff, I thought this is perfect because that's exactly what I said. I want that'll branch that can help me to step out of that comfort zone that the card said spoke of into something that has a mindset and a path that I could go. Okay, here's the path. Here's the goal. Let's go for it and take all. And it's funny you said psilocybin because what did I just do with the honey? I tinctured it and it came out.
No way! See,
Lion's
that's
mane,
what.
psilocybins, and reishi and cordyceps,
Oh my
and
god, I love it! I love it. That's incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
My friend took it and she has extreme depression and because she's going through vertigo. By the way, I did reset her ears. I did the Epley method, which is resetting the crystals in the ears.
I've
I
never
was only
heard
able
that.
to do one side. She is down to where she can't walk and can barely talk now. She has a wheelchair, not a walker. This all happened in a process of 2 years. She's just declined. It's not MS. They can't figure out what it is. She doesn't drink. She's never done drugs in her life. She is the most vibrant person dancing on the speaker next to me, usually at nightclubs, and now she can't walk. And I think I was like, it had to have been her husband suicide, like maybe a blow to the head or some type of poisoning. Well, after 2 years now, it's gotten even worse. And I went, let's try resetting the crystals in your ear. And reluctantly, she came the last day of my vacation, the last day. And I spent like 1 hour with her. and she sat up on the last part because it makes you very dizzy because the crystals are moving. And she sat up and she went, "Is that what it looked like?" And I went, "What?" She was looking in a mirror,
Mhm.
and she said, "I haven't seen myself in a year." And she said, she focused the
Wow.
honey and resetting her ears.
Yes.
I can't
You
wait,
were
Ozzy.
telling
I
me.
need to come out there and just spend like a whole week so that Ozzy could go like do me from head to toe.
Please come. I will
Yes.
embrace you.
So much that we can offer people. Have you heard of Paul Stamets before?
No.
I don't. Who's
Oh
that?
my God. Okay, so after this, I'm gonna have to send you guys some info, but he is like the world leading mycologist for everything that has to do with psyllium and
Say his name
mushrooms
again.
of all
Repeat
sorts.
his name.
Paul Stamets.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's actually a TV show about him on Netflix.
Oh.
I'm excited. I'm growing my own lion's mane in the backyard right now.
See? And you know, it can grow your nerves back and do all kinds of cool stuff. It helps
It
with
really did.
Alzheimer's,
They're
everything.
discovering so much, and this is like the mushroom capital of the world because apparently Tulsa floats. It's like it's raining outside and 80 degrees right now.
Oh wow. Oh.
It's like mushroom heaven. So
Yes.
the medicinal mushrooms in the forest, if you know what to search for properly and know how to identify properly, and I say that out loud so you don't get people running out picking off mushrooms and eating them. You know what you're doing, know what to look for. They can be even more powerful when they're naturally in the forest because they're pulling off all of the, you know, dead forest things, and those negative ions are also in that psilocybin and the different medicinal mushrooms. It's
And then,
very
and this is sorry. This is on another note, so that we could get through and not be on
sorry.
one
Yeah.
topic for too long. Ozzy and I actually helped a good friend of mine at the beginning of was that the beginning of this week because she was having what was her some cancer issues. So I knew that, and then she it wasn't going well with the medications and things from her own doctor. So I knew when she told me about it that Asiah would be the perfect person to connect with. So we actually did a video together, a video conference, and then she Ozzy has helped her so much. Just I noticed just in our Zoom because she was actually feeling heard, the other person. Because you know how like when you're going through really, really scary things and sometimes regular medical doctors, not all of them, they don't have a bedside manner that actually helps you to feel like you're heard, comforted, and all of that other stuff, right? So when we finished, we said a healing thing, and then I just felt her uplifting, right, Ozzy, just from our talk and Ozzy explaining things to her in a different way and just actually listening to what her concerns were. Yes. So so that was just so wonderful, Ozzy. Don't you love that? So I felt like that's
I
another
do.
thing that her and I and all of us are going to be doing. Because Jessica,
And
You have a calling.
so
You have a
funny.
very special calling, and I think that's
It's
what
funny.
it is.
I said, "You are definitely allergic to this product. Is it anywhere in your house?" And she went, she picked up the bottle and went, "It's right here." And I went, "Oh my God, that's it. You're allergic to that."
but that came
Yes,
from
there
like
you
pieces
go.
and pieces and pieces of the conversation. So Ozzy was actually listening to her, asking her questions, just giving her more time than sometimes doctors have to give. And then also thinking outside the box because a lot of medical doctors they're so by the book, and this is what I learned in medical school. They don't open up to other ideas, and
And
so
also lawsuits. They
mhm.
are on the insurance behind them doing this. You better not say
Yep.
it. You better not.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
even in the medical journals to this date, in 2024, you take your, medical exam to become a physician. One of the questions is, are female human beings a species or a disease?
Oh,
What do you
that's
think the answer is?
right. I did remember hearing that a few years ago, right?
Females are a disease.
What? Like,
That's,
no,
you
no.
know why? You know why?
Yeah.
So
Why?
they can experiment on you
Oh.
legally.
Yeah. So I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole. But there's a lot of
Right?
stuff with like
That's a whole
layers.
nother.
Young
That's a
people
whole nother.
started
That's a
now.
whole nother episode, huh?
Right? That's why we need practitioners like your mother,
Mhm.
which I love, and
Yeah.
people who think outside the box
Mm-hmm.
of just traditional medicine. There's so many other things that are
Out there.
environmental.
But you can get into that now. You don't need an RN license to start doing herbalism at all. But if you do get your RN license, so this is what my mom would say. She says she's going to be paying off her student loans till the day she dies.
Okay,
And
never
that's
mind.
the thing that's really scary.
Here's my fear.
So that's what it is instead of saddling yourself up to all of that and all, it's not just the money, but it's all the focus and the time, and it's so taxing. It's going to take you away from your real thing, which is healing people and healing people naturally.
And the time with me is not as crucial as the money. If I could just get out of the student loan part of it, I could fly through school. The only thing I'm not good at is math. I can do the rest in a heartbeat. Microbiology is my forte. I love it. All the things that usually people hate in school: chemistry, biology, microbiology, anatomy, physiology. I fly through those. Sometimes, like my last time, I tried to go back when I was married. I tested out of them.
Nice.
And so that's not a problem until I hit algebra.
That's always my stopping point.
Right? I broke
Mine is pre. I stop at pre-algebra. Jessica probably doesn't even know what that is. Back in the day, they actually had pre-algebra and algebra.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We had it.
Okay.
Yeah. I got hives, my throat closed up, and the teacher goes, "Are you allergic to the math problem?" And I went,
Yes.
"I am. I'm allergic to this final right here.
I'm here. I'm dying. You gotta get me out of here.
I need to go home and get like my EpiPen, right?"
Okay, wait. So before we go too far, let's
Okay.
pull my card, and then we also want to do one for you, Jessica, so that we can hear what's going on with your life too. Okay.
No, we didn't get to do that last time. Let's cleanse.
Oh,
All
wait
right,
one
think
second.
about your
Oh, wait a
question.
second. Hold on. Sorry.
And I have club soda today.
See, look, this is my Sage and Pink Lotus smudge spray. So, like, whenever, like, if I'm having some thing going on and I feel like I need to actually, clear some energy. And then
Where'd you
just,
get that? I want some.
I don't even remember. I'm gonna say, oh, I think it's in this place that closed down. Remember the place that closed down? That's over here, Jessica, that I loved. I know. They closed down.
Give me the bottle.
Okay.
As I go on Amazon.
And it's Sage and Pink Lotus Smudge Spray. Asiah, look, with Reiki charged rose quartz crystals and Archangel Area Abundance Essence. So it has some good stuff in there. Okay.
Okay, let's just meditate for a moment. Oh,
Perfect.
Okay.
For yours, Laura, I want you to start thinking of exactly the question. Say it in your head a couple of times and actively ask for guidance from your spirit guides, your angel team, your higher self, your loved ones, anybody who you want to come through.
excuse me, I need to blow my nose.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, pull it off the top. All right, so we have King of Swords for you.
Wow.
Is it reversed?
That's typically a yes, but let me give you details what this is.
So it's actually not inversed for once. We actually are not.
No, it's not, which is fabulous.
It is.
Well, reverse doesn't necessarily mean negative.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. But I was just wondering because we keep always getting reversed. We usually get some
yeah.
reverse cards. But I forgot to hold on to my pink crystal, so I'm holding it now.
So, our upright of our King of Swords is structure, routine, intelligence, rationality, logical, power, authority, strength, manners, um, conversation, discernment, detachment. Let me go into this real quick. In general context, the King of Swords represents structure, routine, self discipline, and power authority. It is in the minor arcana card of being methodical. Using your head, mind over matter, and the head over your heart, this card signifies logic and reason, integrity, ethics, and morals. The King of Swords can represent legal matters, law enforcement, military, police, judges, or a person who is a mature male who is cool, disciplined, intelligent, honest, and strong. He is rational, logical, and a deep thinker. He may be an air sign such as Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. He does not like to publicly display his emotions, and he prefers to use his intellect over his emotions. He does well in structured environments. Does this sound like anybody that you're thinking of?
Well, I wasn't
I know
my.
it is. Okay.
Who? What did Asiah say?
Oh, I don't
Go
know.
ahead. I'm going to see who you think it is.
I don't know because the question I was in my mind, it wasn't even about a man. It was okay, but it helps with the first part of what you were saying. So let me tell you what the question was. What I was asking for guidance is, what do I need to do, or how can I successfully sell this property here and then successfully be the owner of my new place by in August. And see how the first part says about being read the first part again.
Oh, so actually, there's more to it. I'm
Okay.
going to keep going on this part. So,
Okay.
in career, and that whole portion of it, because
Okay.
money and career are combined together.
Okay.
The King of Swords can represent a mature older man in your work environment who will challenge you and hold you to high standards. He may be stern with you, but be overly sensitive. If you behave with honesty and integrity and act intelligent manner, you will gain his respect. This minor arcana card can represent someone who is authoritative, methodical, clinical, rational. It tells you to keep a cool head in business and to make sure you are in a profession of all facts before making any decisions. This card can also indicate that having more structure and routine will help bring you success. In financial, this indicates that you need to take a realistic, logical, and rational approach to your finances. It tells you to use your head and educate yourself before investing in anything. It also goes into spirituality, if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. In a spiritual concept, the King of Swords tells you that you can learn about as many spiritual practices as you like, attend as many workshops as are available, and read as many books as you can get your hands on. But at some point, you need to start putting all of your knowledge into practice and follow your heart instead of your head. Now is the time. Stop overthinking it and start doing it.
Okay, so what do you guys feel? Ozzy, first I want to see what man you're thinking of, and then Jessica, give me your feel on what you feel this means, and then I'll go on.
I think there's a duality in the male figures. There is a male that is your friend, that is an older, more mature gentleman that was trying to help in the career more towards the acting. And then the
Who was
other
that?
one,
Who's trying to help
I can't
me?
remember who you were just talking about him.
Who?
But or either, let me finish.
Okay.
Or either it could be the boss of the place where you just left. One.
I don't think it's him, but I think it is your dad maybe coming through. And
possibly, because law enforcement.
Yeah. And I think that he's trying to give you some help and letting you know, like, hey, let's think about things rationally. Let's plan it all out, because right now everything's a little bit ambiguous. We're not sure if you want to sell a sub 2. You're not sure if you want to sell on the regular market yet, because we have a lot of options, and you're not sure if you want to do sub 2 quite yet, how that's going to affect you if you want to buy a new house. What happens if you go under contract? Will you be able to get the house that you're really looking for? So I think what he's trying to do is have you really look at all of your options first. Maybe pick out like what your end house is, like already pick out your house, and then you'll start making like a very consecutive action of like how you're going to step by step, how you're going to get there. Instead of like, okay, I'm just going to try to sell it, and then once I sell it, I'm going to figure it out. I think what he's trying to tell you is pick out what you want, and then let's move there in a one fell swoop in one like line.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Methodically. So like find, because like right now, you're right, because I have different options out there. But find the house first, and then all the steps are going to come into place to get to where that is.
Yes,
Okay.
that's
And
what I.
have you, can I ask, have you had any, because of the situation with the children, is there any type of conversations you've been having with Tony,
With what?
with Tony lately?
Do you want me to just actually close the whole thing down?
Oh,
That's
damn. There
a
we
big
go.
no. She's talking about my
Okay.
ex-husband Tony. No.
I only asked because I was thinking
He hates
law
me.
enforcement
He
has to be
hates
either
me.
dad
He
or
hates
him.
me. That let's be
Wow.
clear on that. He hates me.
Yes. Wow. See, some people.
So
That
yeah.
also might be, you know, because of it. Yeah, I just didn't want him interfering with the goodness that's coming in because I know that situation is so just
Toxic.
ignorant.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I
So
mean, yeah,
it's
just
not
crap.
that, because I
Oh,
like the
okay.
beginning of the card too, Jessica. Like the very beginning, like with the very beginning, like the first part. Can you read that part? Just the
Yeah,
very.
go back. There's
Yeah.
also a couple other takes on it, but structure, routine, intelligence, rationality, being logical, power, authority, strength, manners, conversation, discernment, detachment, cool, honesty, integrity, ethics, morals, clinical, stern, yeah, self-discipline,
All
head
that
over
stuff.
heels.
Okay.
Yes,
See, that's what made me think.
and father, and that's the funny thing. So, that's one word I'm putting in there is father figure. So
Oh.
there is, I
And
definitely
law
feel like there's a
enforcement. How could
father
you throw
and
that
law.
one in without having Gilbert? That is definitely him. That is
Yeah.
definitely
Here
him.
he is.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. I
look at
totally
that.
think that he is going to step by your side and he's going to help you. And I think what he personally, if you're just asking my opinion on it, I think he's coming through and I think he wants you to figure out exactly what you want, whether that be in the next 6 months to a year. And then once you have a very, very sharp, clear decision of this is exactly what I want, then he's going to help you make it all happen.
Okay. Okay.
That actually even sounds like Uncle Gilbert. Like back from when we were young. That's kind of the way he would always put things to Laura. Like, even with modeling, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "You are not happy doing this," and I was like, "But
Wait,
those are all
what?
the jobs I would love to have." And like,
Wait, what part? What did he? What were you thinking he said?
he would always calmly just like, I remember when we were trying to break into modeling, and she would get, she was 2 inches higher than me and flawless, and she'd get all these good jobs, and I'd be like, "Go, can I pretend like I'm you, and I'll go in your place?" And she was just not happy in that environment, and finally she
That's
just said,
not it. That's not it. I was. Remember, the thing is that made me not happy in that environment was not modeling. It was our drug scene. The
"Yeah,
drug scene
there's a
was
lot of that,"
it. It
and
was
it just
not
made
even
everything
about
really,
the
yeah.
modeling at
And then,
all.
your dad just was very calm about it,
He
and then
was.
everything just went like this.
He
He
did.
was like, "Okay, listen to your inner self. You're not following your inner self. It will tell you
He
exactly what to
saw
do."
me at my worst, and he actually came to talk to me, and I poo-pooed it. He was like, you're not treating yourself well." And the same day that we had that meeting, I actually had a burn on my face, but just from somebody's what is it, beard stubble. So not from doing, but like from kissing me too hard. And it was the night where that guy tricked me, Asiah. Victor, remember the drug lord Victor, the big guy that I was dating for a minute, the one that was
Yeah,
part of the Colombian, all that. And so then
yeah,
he had told this guy to just do whatever he could to, seduce me, and it wasn't working. But finally, just in the middle of the morning, I finally was like, okay. But just because I was tired, the guy kept badgering me, blah blah blah. And then this
yeah.
whole other rabbit hole happened because I did make out with this guy. But I'll tell you what happened in a whole other episode. So my dad happened to see me a few days after that. First of all, I was probably about 115, 110 pounds because first of all,
Yeah,
I'm skinny anyway. Ozzy and I were toothpicks anyway. So if you bring in the toothpickness already, and then you bring into the Hollywood lifestyle of partying every single night, working, partying. Um,
and pressure.
yes,
There's pressure to be
I
there.
wasn't loving myself. So he actually did come and say, you're hurting yourself. But that's all he said. And I was like, no, I'm not. And, just being I'm not, Dad, I'm totally fine. And then, of course, in my mind, I was not fine, but I was fighting
Right.
against being on coke. I wanted to
Right.
continuously party. So
Right.
yeah, so my dad has always been very calm. He's always been because in his mind, he probably feels so secure knowing that God or whatever he called source was going to take care of me and that I normally make good decisions. So he was
Oh,
just basing it on the fact that usually I make good decisions. This must just be a phase and I will get out of it, which I did,
Yes.
okay.
thankfully.
Yeah, and that just sounds like him. Like the way she just said it sounds like your father. It's gonna
Hmm.
make me
I
cry.
think he's telling you to let all that resistance go. Let it all go and just go where your heart like wants to go. Pick it out, and then once you have that like shiny object and you're like, that's what I want, it's gonna manifest. But you can't manifest it if you don't know what you want. So
Exactly.
it's never gonna come up. It's never gonna happen if you don't have a plan. If you don't know where your end point is, there's no point of having a map.
Okay, because I do know, I know it's Philly. Well, but now it's Philly or Delaware because Delaware's so close that I didn't even realize
Oh,
how close they are, and they still has
I
all the benefits. So if it's a cheaper place or more affordable place, I am considering that. But I still know where I want to go, and I'm just going to focus on that, and then
And
the
there's
pieces will
plenty
come
of
together.
raised land, and I'm sorry, I'm not a Delaware person. I'm mother henning you right now because it's what I do. Can't help it. I just want to make sure that when you get there, it's comfortable for you and the horses, that it takes pressure off you. So much less pressure, like you said, when the horses have a place to graze and to
Yes.
cool down and
Mhm.
to
And the cost
pass.
of feed too. The cost of feed's going to go down for me.
Oh
So
my
it's not like I'm
gosh.
you
adding.
supplement with like actual fresh grass and
Exactly.
And
everything.
the other
That's a
thing is, I
lot.
want you to make sure and make positive sure, because let me tell you, hell hath no fury like snow and horses.
Oh no! See, they said that Delaware is less harsh. That's what I asked too. I've asked a few people that live there and my realtor over there because I was like, but isn't Delaware just as harsh? Because you heard how Washington crossing the Delaware, blah blah blah. They was like, no, because it's more south. It's less harsh.
Okay,
So I didn't know that. In the part of Philly that I want to
I'm
be
just
in,
going with you.
yeah, and like like the part of Philly that I want is easy too. Or else I'd be
Okay,
going to Oklahoma with you. But no, but there's a whole other issues in Oklahoma that keeping me from Oklahoma. But
okay.
but visiting is good. But Jessica, look, we only have 11 minutes, so I
No,
want to touch
that's
on. We don't have to touch on the other boss thing because right now this is actually reclaiming our magic within ourselves. So
I
let's.
like it.
But I
So,
want to do your card, Jessica. So can we pull a
Okay.
card for you?
Sure. Let me think of a quick
first
question.
the cleanse, spray the spray.
Yeah, spray your spray,
Okay.
your mental spray.
I just want to get some general guidance with this new business venture that Mike and I are embarking on. So I call upon my angel team to help me by giving me any guidance that they can about this new business venture. All right, so I have the Ace of Wands.
Ooh,
Ooh,
the Ace of
wow.
Wands.
My Ace of Wands symbolize creativity, and it is the boldest among the cards in this suit. It is not the kind of creativity that you learn from school or as a hobby. It's bravely finding your own voice. It creates a place where you can develop your own vision. In other words, it's associated with willpower and creativity in cosmic sense. When you draw the Ace of Wands, it's an indicator that you should just go for it. Take the chance and pursue an idea that you have in mind. Take the first steps in a creative project. The Ace of Wands calls out to you to follow your instincts. If you think that the project you've been dreaming of is a good idea, just go ahead and do it.
What? Oh my gosh,
Wow.
Jessica! That's such a
Bravo.
straightforward yes. Oh my gosh, that's a
I
straightforward. No
love
other
that.
way to take it. I have chills even right now, even just
I
saying
know.
it.
So do I.
There's
So do
no
I.
other way to take that. It's so
Well,
clear.
shoot, guys. Remember Mike was saying that he got pre-approved for our team, that we can hire on anybody that we want, as long as they're, capable
Of
they
doing
know
the job.
about real estate and stuff. So you never know.
I know, because